Alright, so here we go. Now I'm going to review X-Men Legacy 238, starring Rogue and Magneto, of course. Alright, so let's jump into it. We have a new story, Second Coming is over, and kind of started off on a bad note for me. Didn't really wreck my issue experience. I still thought it was a great issue, but it kind of wrecked the first little bit of my reading experience. We start off with these kind of villains. It's kind of like, what is this? I feel like they should have started on second page like this. I feel like this is how Mike Carey should have started, and then kind of had this afterwards. I totally would have been down with that. I just thought this is a weird way to start an issue. I think you could start an issue if you have known villains that you can kind of be like, oh, Toad's doing, or not Toad, whoever the big villain is at the time. Oh, they're doing this. I'm trying to think of the next example. Like back in X-Force before Second Coming, they could have been like, oh, Celine's doing this, and that would have kicked off an issue, or Bastion's doing this, and that would have kicked off an issue. These new villains, I don't know. Not feeling it. But I do like how the story kicks off right away, and you're already started the issue in Mumbai by the time you start the issue, and so they're on the plane, and there you have it. Second thing I liked about this issue, but first being that they kicked off right away, you're already starting the story before you start reading. Second thing I liked is the roster. Loa, I can't pronounce her name. It's Annie Ryan, anyways. Loa, I don't know. And Victor, Anol, and Indra. I like all three of those characters, and they feel like they're criminally underused. So I kind of think that's great to have them in there with the mainstays of Rogue and Magneto. So I think it's great to kind of bring in the new X-Men. I really liked a lot of them, and I feel like they're kind of, a lot of them are getting the short shaft. But anyways, moving into the issue. We're in Mumbai because his parent, Indra's parent, sent a letter for him to come back because his brother's sick. Nice little chill story, or how to start a story after a big thing like Second Coming. So kind of got into that. Also, something I like is kind of a little talk between Rogue and Cyclops here. Cyclops gets the mission, sends Rogue on it with Magneto. They're both kind of confused as to what's happening. They both kind of talk about Rogue's demotion of sorts during Second Coming, and how she's not on the battle roster anymore. I kind of like that, and I thought kind of Rogue touched on how her friendship with Hope she shouldn't leave Hope, and then kind of Cyclops says that Hope needs to find friends of her own, which is kind of cool. I also kind of like the next page too, where they're Rogue's checking on a Hellion in the hospital. I feel like Hellion was going to maybe possibly get like pushed to the side after his accident to Second Coming. A kind of accident I don't really quite agree with, but anyways, we'll talk about that in later issues maybe. And so I kind of like how he's not getting thrown at the wayside, and he's probably set up to be impossible next arc. Something I kind of was a little... I like the story of Indra's and how he's going to his brother, or his family, to look after his sick brother, and how he's going to stay there until he gets well. I wasn't a huge fan of how his dad's a huge dick, and treating everybody like kind of nice, but to Indra he's really kind of a talk down to type of guy. But then I kind of thought about it for a second. It's like, it's Mumbai, it's the Middle East, that's what they do. So it kind of clicked in my head and made sense. I also kind of liked how Magneto's past is kind of catching up with him, and in this panel here, he's like, I'm not sure who you guys are, and then Magnus tries to introduce himself, and his dad's not having any of it. So I kind of like that. I actually really like that. I kind of liked how Indra's kind of pissed once he learns that he's actually here to marry his brother's set-up marriage, and he has no idea who the girl is, and so it's kind of nice how, change of pace, how Indra went to the Western world and kind of got a taste of that and kind of liked it and was used to the customs. When he comes back home, he's kind of put back in that same scenario. Wasn't so sure about Magneto's little subplot that he has business in this area. So kind of another thing that's kind of like, can Magneto still be trusted at all? And so type of deal. I'm not really sure. It could possibly be like a tie-in to Avengers Children's Crusade, and him finding Scarlet Witch. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I really like the issue. I like the art in where this kind of whole storm thing's happening. I thought that was pretty sweet. Clayman definitely can draw like a little battle storm scene really well. Something I wasn't so sure about is Clayman's drawing on the faces. Sometimes he hit it at the park, like his dad right here. I thought he was really well executed. And Hellion's face in this panel here, right beside the ad. Yeah, I like that, but I felt like some of the time his face is kind of bloaty and all over the place. Like, for example, hold on, I just gotta find it here. Rogue looked kind of strange in a few spots, and it just kind of, I think maybe I need some more consistency for Clayman. Overall, I like the issue because I like the story. I like the little talks between Rogue and Hellion and Cyclops, and how the story went right in. Wasn't sure about the villains at the start, and not so sure about Magneto's subplot. But I think I'm gonna have to give this issue a 4.5 out of 5 because my art's the main problem and Magneto's side story I'm not so sure about. But other than that, I really love this issue. I think it's a great kickoff to a arc that's separated from the rest of the X-Men a lot. Alright, 4.5. Check it out. Go get it if you still can. I know this came out either the 21st or 28th of July, so I'm a little behind the times, but it's a great issue. Check it out.